Welcome back to the Trader Roundup YouTube channel. We are streaming live on Twitter and YouTube, and I want to welcome you back. So, Trader Roundup is where highly attuned, like-minded traders come together to become 1% stronger each and every day. And in today's topic, we are going to be talking about mental models, about seven-figure mental models. We're going to be joined by two experts in the prop firm industry. We are also joined by my co-host Kit, and we are going to be discussing different mental models so that the objective of today is for you to understand how experienced traders, how educators, how experts are thinking, what type of decision-making models are they using in order to not only deal with the pressures of trading, but also in general, how are they conducting themselves in and out of trading? How are they handling the pressures of trading when it comes to losses, even when it comes to successes and winning? And so today's topic is so important. And I would like to welcome our guests today. Firstly, I would like to introduce you all to Saul from 5%ers. Saul, please introduce yourself to everybody.
Hey Rodrigo, hey everyone, glad to be here. So my name is Saul. I've been trading for 13 years already. It took me, back in the time 2 years to make it to become profitable, consistent. Since then, I've been just trading, especially the forex market, other markets as well, but my expertise on the forex market. And today, I also run the day-to-day operation of the Fivers company, which you may be familiar with. We fund traders; they can trade on our behalf and split the profits with us. So that's me in a nutshell.
Fantastic. Well, welcome to the Trader Roundup podcast. It's a pleasure to have you. And I'd also like to introduce you all to Sanjeev. Welcome, Sanjeev.
Thank you, Rodrigo. Thanks for having me, man.
So, Sanjeev, please introduce yourself to everybody.
So in a quick nutshell, I got into trading in 2012. Lost money for a very, very long time. I think about 6 years or so. I slowly discovered the hard way, unfortunately, that trading is more a mental game than anything. And as I started to do that, I only started to have my breakthroughs with trading. In 2020, I became a trading performance coach alongside running my own trading. And I now work with prop firms and traders on a one-to-one basis. And I'm currently working with Funded Next, which some of you may have heard of.
Fantastic. What a panel. And the topic for today, guys, is the seven-figure mental models. And this is a very, very important topic because especially for traders who are listening that are still developing, they're still in their first 3 years of trading. Really, those first 3 years, or even the first 5 years, you're learning a lot, mostly from other traders. And so I'm very, very, very curious to know what your experiences are with working with top performing traders. And what kind of decision making do they use? How do they deal with losses? How do they deal with the pressures of trading? So Sanjeev, my first question to you really is, what kind of processes do the top traders use in order to prepare themselves for their trading day?
It's a great question. I feel like I'm in a fortunate position because I get to engage with a lot of traders on, I guess, either end of the spectrum of profitability. If we focus particularly on the traders that do really well, that operate at the highest possible level, I would say that they have very specific routines that start their day and end their day. And for me, a lot of those routines are not just about what happens on the charts. There is a specific focus as to what happens internally. I've always liked the idea that there are three types of analysis. There's, technical analysis, fundamental analysis, and the one that most people ignore or overlook, it's the internal analysis. And it's that third type specifically where I see that the high level traders really start to put the work in, and it's really what starts to excel them. So I think one thing for me, at least, that is common across most traders, especially with maybe a pre-market routine, are things like meditation. It's something that puts them in the present moment. It gears them and it puts them ready to open their mind to anything that the trading day is going to present.
Yeah, no, meditation is such a game changer. So, yeah, what's been your guys' experience with meditation? So, do you meditate? You know, I know you're a trader yourself. So, what's your experience with that?
Yeah, I started meditating. I don't know if it's not very deep meditation, but certainly, breathing exercises and a bit of meditation. And I was very skeptic about it, because that was probably like 3 years ago or 4 years ago, and there wasn't that. It wasn't a very discussed topic. The medication, the meditation, how could help you in your trading performance. So I was very, very skeptic. I didn't believe on that. And then I started, listening up and hearing about, Ray Dalio and all these very, top tier traders that they meditate. So I said, okay, who am I to not do what these guys are doing? So I started really breathing and exercising my breathing and meditating, and it was a pivot point in my performance. It was amazing, because at that time I was, some years after I started, achieving success in trading. So I was slowly managing larger and larger accounts. And I felt that stress of managing larger accounts. I was in the, around $500,000 accounts. And, every pip of movement in your favor or against you is thousands of dollars against you or in your favor. So it was very, very stressful to see that drawdown or the profit and, the balance go up and down. So really calming down my brain, focusing on breathing before the trade, during the trade, after the trade, that was a pivot point in my performance. It really kept me from doing, drastic mistakes, and really helped me out with my performance, like keeping calm and, just making the right decisions.
No, yeah, breathing is such an absolutely important process. So tell me, so when you experienced these 4-5 figure, fluctuations,
Yeah.
in when managing a trade, what exactly does that breathing look like? What kind of breathing do you actually do?
First, it all starts before the training session. So you prepare yourself for the training session, the training session with that breathing exercise. So you get into the training session already relaxed and focused, and then the breathing and the emotional, preparation, together with some risk management preparation, it really let you, take the loss when you need to take the loss, or take the profit when you need to take the profit.
Yeah.
And doing these certain, actions that you should be making and doing, but you're just not capable of doing because you're emotionally engaged. So once you come focused and non-emotional to your trading session, you're more capable of doing these, these actions, making these actions that you should be doing, but just not capable of, because you're very, very engaged and all your emotion and all over the place. So that's how it works. And that's how it helps you, and it just perform better.
Yeah, I love that. What about yourself, Sanjeev? How do you use breathing in your trading and with your clients? What kind of techniques do you use?
So there's a specific one that I really like very much, because it's simplistic. It can be done very quickly, and it's just very easy to pick up. It's a technique called box breathing. So for anyone that's unfamiliar with the topic before, it simply involves like 4 steps. You inhale for 4 breaths, or for the count of 4 seconds. You hold for 4 seconds. You exhale for 4 seconds, and then you hold for 4 seconds. And you repeat this for a few rounds as you go. What I tend to find is where traders end up struggling, and I think this is exactly what Saul was pretty much describing, is the paradigm that a lot of traders get stuck in is they either get haunted by things that have happened in the past. Maybe that's happened in the last trading session or the previous day, or they get too focused and fixated on worrying about what is to come in the future. And between both of those, I would say the clouded judgment that both of those cause, it causes you to lose focus in the only moment that really matters, which is the present moment. And I find doing things like box breathing, while it engages your mind with having to count and it engages your body with having to breathe, it helps balance the body and mind and bring them both back into alignment. And it allows you to just focus in on the present moment and just look at the charts, look at the markets, look at what you need to do and focus in on what is happening right now.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And do you know what I would love right now? If you can take us through a guided box breathing session. Maybe go for 3 breaths, because I feel like I need some box breathing right now. I'm always up for a breathing technique. So yeah, Sanjeev, I'm going to put you on the spot.
Let's do it. Like I said, it's a pretty simplistic one. So I'll give everyone 5 seconds, 10 seconds or so. I would suggest maybe sitting down if it's possible for most people to do this. Just relax yourself, start to become present. Be aware of your surroundings, be aware of what you can feel beneath your hands, your feet, be truly present in the current moment. And what you want to do is start by just taking a few deep breaths. Okay, so breathe in and then back out. And then in and then back out. And then we start the box breathing by, like I said, it starts with an inhalation for 4 seconds. So breathe in, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now hold your breath for 4 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out for 4 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4. And hold for 4 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4. And repeat. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. And hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that is a very easy couple simple rounds of box breathing. And what I find for a lot of people is the way I teach it is that the breath is the center of everything that we do. It's the one thing we have from the moment that we are born to the day that we die that stays with us forever. There's a lot of things in life, in the markets, that end up changing, but your breathing is always with you. And the thing that I get people to recognize is with every state that you have in life, happiness, sadness, depression, anxiety, fear, the one thing that constantly changes is your breathing. And so if you learn to regulate and control your breathing at times and states where you really need it, like I said, it helps bring the body and mind back into an alignment, and you really help to pull yourself out of either the past or the future and just focus on the present moment.
Yeah, no, I actually felt my heart rate slow down, because I'm a little bit caffeinated at the moment. I am fasted. But I genuinely just felt more present. I felt more sort of connected to the moment, and it was almost like an icebreaker as well. I felt connected to you guys. I felt connected to the audience in a way where ego kind of just disappeared. It was such a good moment. Thank you for that. How was that for you, Saul?
Yeah, it was good. It really calmed me down and remind me, the exercises you should be doing all the time. And thank you for that, Sanjeev.
Appreciate it. Glad you guys enjoyed it.
Amazing. So in terms of your experience, Sanjeev, how what's been your experience working with top traders, and how do they deal with losses? What do they actually do when they're experiencing these losses or these drawdown periods, whether it lasts a few minutes, few hours, or few days, or a few weeks? What is their process like? How do they recover? Because that's the key. It's being able to recover from these drawdown periods, and I think that really does separate your average trader to your top performers.
For sure. I think a lot of it is in exactly what you just mentioned, which is there's a big focus on relying on a process. Whereas I feel like on the opposite end of the spectrum, the traders that constantly struggle, they believe that their reliance and their system really relies on self-control. It really relies on their level of discipline or willpower in any given moment. And the thing that I think most traders allude to the fact is that discipline, self-control, willpower, all of those sorts of things, they are fantastic tools, but they all generally rely on some level of feeling. And the problem is with feelings, they change every single day. What makes you happy today can make you sad tomorrow. You can be motivated today, but not unmotivated tomorrow. And so for me, the traders at the high level, they have a clear and concise plan that they follow when they know that these moments are going to happen. So I guess what is included as part of that process is, firstly, I would say, is it's a stage and a level of acceptance that losses are going to happen. And they understand the idea of probabilistic thinking. They understand the idea that an edge is only apparent over a large enough sample size of trades. So they don't tend to put too much weight on the outcome of what is going to happen next, because ultimately they don't know. Nobody knows. And so when they focus that idea on it's all about long-term thinking, it kind of separates them from getting too caught up in the short-term moment. And it allows them a little bit of space to fall back on, like I said, what it is for a process. Their process will typically it might include things like a vigorous exercise routine, depending on the person. It might include things that we've already discussed, like meditation, breath work. I know a lot of traders are fans of things like cold showers, just little things to help snap them out of certain states and bringing them back into different models. And then I think one of my things are, once you've been able to change your state and get out of the short-term emotions which you may be feeling, is going back and actually reminding yourself of what the data represents that you have gathered. Because I'm a big advocate for anybody that is trading, you should be basing the majority of your decisions based on data and not just gut instinct. And one of the things that tends to happen during a period of drawdowns or losses is they can shake your confidence, especially if it's an extended period where you're taking loss after loss. And what I tell most traders is that confidence is best bred through experience. And the best way to build up your experience again is to go through your data, go through your back testing, and actually see and relive and experience what it's like to see your edge play out time and time again.
Yeah. Not such value. I hope you guys are taking notes. And if any of you are taking notes, please do upload them onto the chat so others can benefit from it. And I'll be uploading some of these comments on display as well, so everyone can benefit. So my question to Sol is, when it comes to handling the pressures of losses, and even actually, if you can perhaps maybe talk about your experience and the traders that you work with in the prop firm, how do they deal with success? Because when they pass these challenges, prop firm challenges, the majority still don't reach that payout level. Why is that? What's been your experience, Sol, in why traders are sort of reaching, they're passing the challenge, but then why are they not reaching payout?
Okay, I'll cover the topic from different angles. Because success is, it's something it's hard to measure in trading. First, it's something that, as traders, we tend to measure success as I make money or I lose money. And I think there's a lot of scales in what success is as a trader. And then I'll go to funding traders or prop traders. When you just start out, and most traders, we know, they're just, in their first periods in their learning curve of how to make it in trading, and they see this social media and these messages of making a lot of money, and that creates unrealistic expectations of what's capable of doing in trading. Okay, so I would say that traders need to focus on what are they doing, where are they starting, and how's their progress. And most of us, we start as unsuccessful traders and slowly move into the break-even traders, and slowly into the profitable traders, and consistently profitable traders. So we need to be aware of that process and recognize we're improving over time. Now, success is a very it's like a two-edged sword, because as success and greed will make you, or will lead you to make the same mistakes as, frustration and anger and reverse trading. Because once you experience success, getting funded, you think you're, on top of the world and you've make it and you're a superhero in trading or whatever it is, and that feeds you with wrong messages of overconfidence and, over trading or more risk than you should be placing into your trades, and that will lead you to losing money. So that's what you see on these, more than 2-step or 3-step challenges. While when traders get funded, they think that's success, and they start, larging their lot sizes. And we see, traders working very, very good during their evaluation periods, and once they're funded, they double or triple size their lot sizes. And of course that leads them to losing money and not getting into that, payout, because now they need to make money, so they want to make as much money as fast as possible, and they end up, blowing their accounts and losing money. So I think we need to be very careful with success emotions and positive emotions, because those tend to lead to overexposure, over leveraging, over risking, and overconfidence, and trading irresponsible. So I would say that's the point.
No, that's a great response, and I'm curious, Sanjeev, from a sort of performance and psychology point of view, why is success so difficult for traders, especially when they pass the second phase of the challenge, that they actually funded, or perhaps they're trading their own private capital and they experience a winning streak. Why is success so difficult?
Yeah, I think it goes back to one of the, I think that makes trading so hard, difficult entirely, which is, I think in most areas of life, you're taught that good actions have good outcomes. The analogy that I like to give most people to help them understand this is, we're taught that if we work hard, generally there's going to be a reward at the end of it. If we exercise and we diet and we do everything right, we're going to lose weight. The problem is in trading is you're dealing with an uncertain market environment. And I think the moment that you let a lapse in judgment happen, where you let emotions take over, whether it's a feeling of overwhelm or a great sense of achievement, and you let that start to cloud your judgment and you base your decisions on those impulse emotions, it starts to affect how you implement and manage your process and your risk. And I think once that starts to take over, it's a very dangerous path, because like I said, going back to this idea of having an uncertain market environment, traders have to accept that they can do everything right today and make money, and tomorrow they can do the exact same thing and lose money. And it's that pivotal point where they mistake maybe luck with skill, and that will ingrain a bad habit in the long run. So the moment that I think traders will probably come and make this mistake whilst they're even doing their challenges, is they'll stray from their process one time, and during that particular challenge, it will actually serve them well. They'll actually make money, and then that reaffirms a bad habit. And when they get to the stage, which, like Saul mentioned, which they believe is the finish line, they believe they've made it. They believe that's it. It's all easy from here, and they kind of relax a little bit. They take their finger off the trigger a little bit, and once those bad habits start to creep in, you don't have that same level of discipline and a process-orientated approach. It all starts to fall apart very quickly.
Yeah. So we got a comment here from Finity, and they've passed a few funded challenges, but they're not yet comfortable to trade live. So what? Because I know you've got a couple of minutes left before you need to head off, Sanjeev. So Sanjeev, what would you say to Finity in terms of stacking their funded accounts and just waiting until they're ready? What would you say to them?
So the big challenge that I think a lot of traders have is exactly this, and I think it's being aware that there is a big difference here between demo trading and live trading. And what is the big difference? Well, there's actually money on the line. So for me, the first step to uncovering your problems in terms of what you're truly feeling is asking yourself, what am I actually scared of? What am I afraid of? And I think in the narrative that the question has been asked here, the main difference is there is possibly an underlying fear of losing money. And so the best advice I would give to most people is to start your funded challenges and look to pass your challenges on actually a lower account size than most people are used to. Because I think what most traders do is they pick the challenge that they want based on how much money they want to make. They don't actually assess whether they're actually mentally ready to be able to trade capital of that size. So I like to use something I call a kind of like a confidence and fear scale, where traders need to feel a certain level of confidence so that they can execute flawlessly as per their edge, but they need to feel a certain amount of fear that they're not just going to gamble with it. And I think traders often get too stuck on one end of the paradigm. They're either too confident and blow it all once they get funded, or they live in a state of fear and they can't execute at all. And the key is finding that balance point in the middle and then to scale your way up slowly. So that would be my advice.
Amazing. Sanjeev, your contribution today has been immensely appreciated. So where can everyone find you? Because I know you need to head off now. Where can everyone find you? Any last words?
My main ground where I do all my work and content, and you can come find me, is on Twitter. You can find me on Trading in the Now, which I guess is relatively on topic with today's conversation. So yeah, Trading in the Now on Twitter. It's been great for having me on. Thank you guys so much, and I hope we can do it again in the future.
Yeah, always welcome back. And Affinity also appreciates your response. Thank you, Sanjeev.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Oh, and I'll see you on the weekend. Can't wait to
Sunday,
meet you.
for sure. 100%. Take care, man.
And you. So, guys, we're going to go into an interlude. And then after the break, we're going to be diving deeper into the topic of a 7-figure mental model, as well as we are going to be discussing an event that's happening this Saturday. So stay tuned. And we're going to also bring in Kit, my co-host. So we're going to go through a quick interlude, quick break, in case you want to stretch, in case you want to do some box breathing. And we'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone. We are joined now by my co-host Kit.
What's up? Brother? How's it going, everybody?
Hey, Kit.
Nice to meet you, Saul.
Nice to meet you too.
So, Kit, you've just done a back-to-back on YouTube, on Twitter Spaces. What was the topic you were discussing earlier today? Because it was really, really solid, wasn't it?
I mean, Trader Roundup as of late has just been fire. I mean, psychology, performance, try and call the markets live, real time, where we're at, where we're going. So, it's kind of a seek and destroy day in the indices based on some very typical templates and filters with news coming, red folder news coming this week. We fully expect that seek and destroy, hashtag don't get wrecked. And you got to know, if you don't, that trading in wicks is not ideal. So just kind of hanging out, kind of talking to folks. I was live since 5 this morning. is on point now. Oh, wow, my camera's on point. Thanks, everybody. Little background behind us. I'm just
Yeah, it's
getting
good to
a
see
little
you, Kit. It's good to
yeah.
see you. There's a lot of people that they don't know what you look like, but look, here you are, massive
Hey, I
smile.
post pictures of me with no shirt on the regular, so I think people know what I look like. So
There you go.
I'm
There
repping
you
the
go.
Steelers today, so why not?
Fantastic.
But yeah,
Fantastic.
sorry, I don't mean to be a distracting force at all. But
That's
it's awesome topic today. What you guys are talking about, that box breathing. I was in the green room. That was awesome. I
yeah,
loved it.
yeah. Yeah, you do you run a whole a breathing methods in your
Yes.
AM sessions, right? Can you talk us more about your that breathing technique and how it helps you in your trading?
I mean, absolutely. I mean, we utilize the Wim Hof technique. So, Saul, if you're familiar with cold water immersion, I'm sure you are.
He's the Iceman, isn't he?
Yeah, he's the Iceman, right? So, I mean, it's almost a hyperventilating. It's quick in and out breaths, either through the mouth, through the nose, or through the nose and the mouth, and getting that 30 seconds in, and then really expelling that breath and holding it, and taking that super saturated, oxygenated blood level, and let it kind of do its thing as you're in this kind of drawdown. It's awesome. I love it. We do it every day. Oh, great beard. Why, thank you very much.
Yeah,
But yeah, no, we do Wim Hof every day on our Twitter Spaces, collectively as a group, and yeah, I mean, I think it's super important. So
yeah. When the science behind breathing, I've got some notes here. There's just so many benefits to it. You've got stress reduction, improved focus and concentration. You got emotional regulation, increased energy and vitality, mindfulness and presence, stress resilience and emotional discipline, physical relaxation. These are the exact things that we need as traders.
Yeah, completely.
And so if you're not utilizing breath work in your daily practice, guys, you are literally sleeping. Really utilize breathing, and that's why Kit, he goes on every day on Front Street and he's doing the Wim Hof breathing. I personally use Wim Hof after a workout, and then cold exposure. It's absolutely life changing. And my I want to pose a question to you, Kit, and it's similar to the topic that we discussed earlier today in the spaces. But in your experience, because you've been surrounded by very successful traders, and you know them personally. In fact, the mentor himself, ICT, you've spoken to him privately. What what type of mental decision making models do they use in order to handle the pressure of trading?
I mean, I think that's a great question. Being a full-time trader and being really engaged within the community and so many successful traders, I have found that the mental is just so important. And the more and more folks focus on their mental, the better off they are. Entry models are a thing, risk management is a thing, but what are you doing off of the charts? How are you preparing for the day? That routine, I think, is so huge. And the more, I mean, I think there's so many parallels to being an elite kind of commando in the special forces, or even a professional athlete. The more serious you take your mental approach towards trading, from visualization to breathing to meditation to stress management to, again, back testing, studying, understanding your own approach and the way you operate within price. I think that's key. So the mental really, really plays such a huge role. I, for one, have kind of been in some kind of emotional drawdown, but with the the physical elements that are within my routine and within my own spirituality. It's really helped me within my own mental place while dealing with some pretty real emotional drawdown.
Yeah, it's a journey, and the journey is just ongoing. And there's a really interesting comment here that I want to pose. Well, I want to get the feedback from Saul in terms of this particular trader calls himself Live Trading. Says, I have created a trading system for myself that gives profit, but I'm still compulsively taking positions that I know will hit stop loss. How should I get out of my compulsion?
I've spoke to many traders and I've experienced that myself. So we have that need to be active in the market, which is funny because many people do jobs that they don't like doing. They just want they just wish they wouldn't have to do that job. And as traders, a very large part of success trading is just not trading, just waiting for the right setups, not entering the wrong setups, etc. So if you feel that need to be active in the market, open another account, open a gaming account, in which one you will not be compromising all the profits and all the hard work you've done. Okay, so either you leave the computer and you go away and you go do something else. But if you feel that need and you feel you need to fulfill that need of being active in the market, get another account, get a very small account that you just can, open super small positions just to be active and you fulfill that need, or a demo account, or just a toy account. Okay, something that does not commit all the hard work you've done already.
Yeah, that's something that Kit and I we've expressed and we've actually mentioned in previous spaces and podcasts about switching between live and demo. There's nothing wrong with that, is there, Kit?
I mean, I say it's. I mean, I'm a '90s kid, so I remember watching Top Gun, and this idea of switching from missiles to guns was a thing, or it might have been one of these. It was some like Iron Eagle, or there's some Air Force kind of style movie in which it's like really a big deal to kind of switch from missiles to guns. And the type of ammo that you're firing is really going to matter when you're operating within the marketplace. So I think Rod said it before. I'd reiterate it, like less is more, and really finding and only operating within your A+ setups. It's okay if you want to push a button, but really switch from missiles to guns, really go into a lighter account, into a demo account, and focus on that laboratory of learning and understanding versus having these actual impacts to your capital, right? Like that's the worst thing you could do, is just to speculate and then to ruin your capital position. Yeah.
So now I'm gonna bring up another question for you guys, particularly for Saul, because I myself have worked with and I've spoken with 7-figure funded traders, but Saul, working for 5% is one of the top prop firms out there right now. What's been your experience with traders who've managed to scale up to 7 figures, being able to get to that point? What type of traders are they? Where are they from? What kind of personality attributes do they have? Are they humble, or are they arrogant? I'm curious to know sort of what your experience has been.
Yeah, that's a good question, because the very high funded traders, the $500,000 and above traders, they have like 3 or 4 patterns that they all have. And it's not something we would think those patterns, they all trade differently. Some of them are scalpers, some of them are position traders, Some of them are very aggressive. Some of them live in Australia, the US, all over. So it's not related to strategy. It's not related to those things that we would think. So the things or the patterns they have in common are very, very simple. And that's the nice thing. It's just very simple patterns that everyone could start applying. Only these guys have the discipline to start really doing. So some of the patterns include mastering what they're doing. And that's something we don't take enough time to do as traders. Because, as traders, we start, collecting information. We get a strategy from here, this advice from the YouTuber, the trading group, the Discord group, whatever it is. And we start applying those concepts without applying to our own individual situations. So if I get a strategy that I learned from someone who lives in Australia, maybe that's a strategy that works if you're living in Australia, to those market conditions, to those setups, to the market volatility, whatever it is. And if I'm living in the US, I'm trying to apply that strategy, maybe it's not to work for me, So they really take time, and it takes time. It takes a few weeks or months to really master the concepts you learn all over and apply it and really apply it to your own individual situation. Where do you live? How much available time you have for trading, money you got to commit or capital you got to commit, risk profile, all those things. So first, all these traders went through that process of really mastering what they do, the strategies. They know when to apply the strategy, when they know when to not to apply the strategy, when to risk more, risk less. So they could answer all these questions of, okay, what's a good setup, what's a wrong setup, all that. Okay, so that's pattern number one. And I think that's, traders, they just want to get the holy grail, apply it, and succeed. And it doesn't need like that. You need to put the time and effort to master what you do. So that's number one. Second, they journalize. So they keep track of, and it's not only backtesting, they really keep track of the strategy and themselves, how the strategy, how the setup looked before they took the trade, during the trade, after the trade, and how they looked before the trade, during the trade, after the trade, in terms of, psychology and emotions and how they felt and everything. So they keep track of, the strategy, the trading, and themselves for a very long time, period of time, and they get those insights on, okay, this is a good setup according to my strategy, but I know I'm not comfortable with it, so I'll take less risks. So I'm comfortable with the setup, and I can still take it. So they really journalize everything, at least for a long enough period of time that they can learn about themselves and the strategy, and they can then become or turn it into a habit that they just go into autopilot mode. But they really take that time of journalizing the strategy, the setups, and themselves to get insights regarding that. Losses, and we've discussed all that. They deal with the losses. They manage their losing positions, and they have all these techniques of scaling out of losing positions or scaling in on losing positions. So they do something with the losses as well, or they know when and take the losses. So all the losing part is very well managed by these traders. And I would say that's those are the three. Maybe I'm forgetting one. Maybe one pattern. If I remember that, I'll bring it back. But those are the three habits they all have in common. They master what they do, they journalize, and they deal with losses.
Awesome. And in those practices, what does that actually look like in their performance? So these are traders that have 500K and above in funding, right? So what does their performance look like? What type of returns are they getting? And how often are they getting payouts? What does that actually look like? Could you just paint that picture for us, please?
It's funny because, and I think it's something I experienced myself, but I see it on these traders as well. Their monthly return, or whatever period of time return, actually decreases in percentages. I think once we start managing larger and larger accounts, it's not as easy to make 10% a month, and keep it that way, because we discussed, the volatility of the balance and your equity curve. So their return in terms of percentages decreases a little bit. But they really keep, they of course they make more money, but in terms of percentages they make more less. But they just you just don't see those spikes in their growth or in their behavior. They really, their growing chart look like this. They don't have those large drawdowns and large wins. Okay, neither. They're very, very steady, and they make consistent growth. Because you don't see massive changes in volatility in their lot sizes, in the risk they take, in the setups they take. So it's just amazing. I hope I wasn't prepared, but I would show you, their accounts and their growth charts, and they just look like that. They don't have that volatility in drawdowns and in gains. They don't take massive gains, and they don't take massive losses. That's key.
Wow, that's amazing. And really, that is the key. And it's so interesting that you say that over time, as their capital builds, their percentage return decreases.
Yeah.
And I find that so many traders are fixated and have these expectations of, I'm going to do 5% a week. I'm going to go do 10% a month. And so these sorts of vanity metrics are thrown out the window. And you can't have these expectations in trading. And for me personally, it's when I work with traders, and even in my own trading, it's when I let go of these expectations. It's when I let go of the outcome, and I focused in on the process. And my process, I turn that into my expectation. I'm very competitive. I can be a perfectionist, and traders tend to be very hard on themselves, very competitive with themselves. So instead of using that in the wrong way, you channel that sort of competitiveness on the P&L, on the outcome, because you're never going to be satisfied. You're never going to be happy with it. It's up and down. Instead, focusing on the process. So what I do is I create a process, and then I gamify it. I have a point system that allows me and allows the traders that I work with to focus on achieving a high score every single day, and then have those streaks in that process. And so the focus, it turns away from the outcome, and it's about the process, about right, did I go to bed on time? Did I wake up on time? Yeah. Have I followed my morning routine? Have I hydrated enough? Have I done my meditation and my breathing? And if you tick all of these boxes, no matter what the outcome is of the trading session, that's a great day. Pat on the back, give yourself a good score, and let's repeat that tomorrow. Let's keep it going. And so that shift away from the outcome, and actually gamifying the process. And what I mean by gamifying, it's quite an interesting word, isn't it? And when you think about games, they structure games with different levels, right? And I'll give you an example of a game. Let's say Mario, right? If anyone is as old as I am and enjoyed Super Mario back in the day on Nintendo or Super Nintendo, it's a classic game. Think about, why was it so enjoyable? Why was that game so addictive? And why to this day I still play it with my daughter on her Nintendo Switch, right? And it's because they figured it out. And that process of you're collecting lots of coins, you're collecting stars, you are passing levels, and every level you always have to fight Bowser, and he gets harder and harder to battle. And this is the same in trading. So if you can use especially what I've learned in gaming, and turn that into a process, have a structured sort of roadmap for your progress, for your trading, and and give yourself points in that process of that roadmap, you'll start to realize, you start to let go of the outcome, and then you start to focus in on today. And when it comes to, let's say you're playing Super Mario, right, you're on that one level. You're not on level, you might be on level 5 right now. There's 100 levels to clock the game, but right now you're on level 5. What does it take for you to pass level 5? And you might die a few times, right? You might you might lose a few trades, but eventually you start to learn. And then focusing, and you got to have a strategy, just like in gaming, in trading. You got to have a strategy, and you got to be consistent with it, because that's how you're able to gamify the process. I know I saw Kit nodding there when it comes to Super Mario. What's you've been a classic gamer
That's
yourself?
my generation, bro. I
Yeah.
mean, like very first video games were Nintendo, and where my mom would force us to go out and play in playgrounds across the street and within the neighborhood. We would like secretly try and sneak into one of our neighbors' house to play a video game. So a lot of really fond memories of Mario Brothers for me personally, and then being a dad, having a daughter as well. She likes Mario Kart a little more than Mario World, but I think they're both fun.
Nice.
Oh, I'm not stressed, Adwin. What you talking about, bro? I'm chill. If you want to know the truth, I mean, I'm up 47 ticks on my oil trade right now, so I ain't got no reason to be stressed. I just made $4,000 during this whole conversation, so I'm not stressed at all.
Oh,
I mean, stressed ain't what I am. I mean,
drinks on you
I'm
today, then, bro.
I'm up big on oil. I mean, I'm slightly distracted. I'm not stressed though, bro. I mean, I'm winning.
Oh,
So
nice. So talking about about stress, about handling these things, I'm actually quite excited about this weekend. So this weekend there is the biggest event in the funded trader industry, in London. And for me, I'm personally I've got a whole bunch of questions listed out that I'm gonna be asking the people, the individuals there. And a lot of these questions I'm posing to you guys, right? A lot of these are, how do you handle losses? What's been your experience in dealing with success as a trader? What mental models do you use? And I'm going to be taking notes there, because I'm there as a student. I want to learn. So Sol, could you tell us more about who's going to be at the event, and why did you decide to organize this event?
Yeah, for sure. So this Saturday we're running an event, or we're promoting an event. It's called the Traders Day Live. And I don't know if you've been guys out there in trading shows, but most of the trading shows are just platforms for brokers to promote themselves and sell you, who got the better execution, slippage, whatever it is. And we came up with this idea of how come if we bring bunch of traders together, retail traders, and we focus on education. So we bring traders, we bring entertainment, fun, and we bring top traders and coaches to learn out of one of from each other. So that's how we came up with the idea of putting together this event. So it's Traders Days Live this Saturday in London, as you mentioned. Can I show my screen or something? Can I show my screen?
Yeah, you can. You're welcome to share your screen. So yeah,
yeah, and that's the idea. Of course, there's some exhibitors out there, and there's going to be, but the whole idea is what you mentioned, taking all these Discord communities and all these groups and forums and everything out of the online into the offline, to really hang out, to get to know you, to have some fun. So there's going to be like a trading tournament, and there's going to be car racing, and there's going to be, of course, top education. So we're bringing very high names, Steve Ward and Mark Holstead. You might recognize him, and Greg Goodman, and institutional traders. So very, very good educators, but also a lot of fun. So there's going to be beer, and there's going to be the trading tournament, and there's going to be money booth and a lot of things like happening all around. So I think it's going to be a blast. Really top education, top fun, beer, a lot of traders, tournament.
Beer.
It's going to be good.
Don't forget the beer.
Yeah, more beer and food and snacks, and a lot of traders. So you can just probably find someone who trades like you or lives nearby you, and you can get a trading partner out of there, or a trading mate, or whatever it's going to be. So you tell your friends or your partner or your wife or about trading, and they don't understand a word of what you say. So at this place, everyone will be just like you. Trading. They will understand your challenges and your succeed and your emotions, and everyone's. It's going to be a good experience.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, there's I think right this year there's going to be lots of networking events for traders. The most recent one, the FX Summit, we had Kyle over there just reporting back to us, and he was saying how it's such a humbling, inspirational experience to be able to meet traders, put faces to names, and I'm really looking forward to it. Especially hearing what Steve Ward has to say. I'm a big fan, so I'm so glad that you got him on the panel.
Yeah, there's a good comment here, Edwin. You never heard name of the speakers, and you might be right, because we're not bringing like influencers, and social media guys. We're bringing institutional traders, institutional coaches, the real deal guys. So to be able to learn from them directly. I know people that spend a lot of time on social media, but these guys teach the top traders, or these guys are the 7-figure traders you want to be learning from. So these are the guys we're bringing.
Oh man, I can't wait. Especially with the was it car races? How's that gonna work?
So two places just to car race, like a arcade game.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
nice.
That's awesome.
You will race one to the other, and the winner will get some prizes or something.
Yeah, okay. So I'm gonna challenge Kyle. Kyle, when you're listening to this, I challenge you, mate. What game is it? I might do some practice.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but there's going to be also like money booth, so you can grab money, and it's going to be a lot of things happening around. It's going to be
A
fun.
money booth. Oh my God. So in terms of there's a question here from Ibrahim, links to the event. So there's links to the event on the Trader Roundup YouTube channel, or if you're watching this on Twitter, head over to YouTube and you'll be able to see the links there. But if you're watching live right now, then I encourage you to scan the QR code. It's hiding, Soul. I do apologize. But yeah, get your phone out, scan the QR code, because I have a 30% off discount code, RA30. So make sure that you scan that code. Otherwise, use the link in the description below, somewhere in the video, and then you'll be able to enter that code, get your tickets. I'm gonna be there. Kyle is gonna be there. He's flying all the way from Miami.
Yeah, he is like
yeah.
just him and Riz are just like on airplanes all the time, going from place to place to place to place. So that's awesome.
Yeah. So
I wish I was going. I really do. But it's Father's Day this weekend. I got my daughter. She's going to Panama.
Oh,
so
okay.
After Father's Day, so I get the quality time with the daughter this week.
Oh, that's the best time, bro.
For sure.
So yeah, I'm actually gonna be staying on an Airbnb with my family this weekend, because obviously we've got this event. Kyle's coming along, so we're gonna be hanging out and stuff.
That's awesome.
Gonna bring my family with me as well. So yeah, looking forward to it. I can't wait. So I wanna thank you for coming to the Trader Roundup podcast. It's a live stream, so it's definitely the pressure is on when you're live. So I appreciate your contribution today, and I'm very, very grateful that you invited us to the event this Saturday. So I'm looking forward to it. I really can't wait. especially, you know, Carl's going to be there with me. So any of you thinking about, or any of you that are turning up, make sure you come and say hello. Don't be scared. I don't bite. Not too hard, but anyway. But yeah, come along, say hello. Let's hang out, and it'll be. I'm really looking forward to it. So
Yeah.
any final words, Saul, and where can people find more information about you and the Five as prop firm?
Yeah. So first, thanks for the invitation to the show, to the program. Really enjoyed it, and looking forward to meeting you, Rodrigo, at the show, and Keith, maybe next year if we
one day. Hey, I'm
one
gonna
day
join,
we'll meet.
I'm gonna
Personally.
join your funded program so I can become a funded trader with y'all. So
Yeah.
let's get excited about that opportunity. So
And anyone who wants to reach out, just soul@thefivers.com, or just send an email to the company, help@thefivers.com, and I'm happy to be in touch with all of you.
Awesome.
It's great meeting you today, Saul. It really was.
Yeah, it really was fun and full of content, which is good.
For sure.
All right. So, Kit, any final words before we wrap up?
Guys, you might want to check me out on a live stream a little later. Oil is just sexy as hell, and I'm still in that trade. It's up 7K now, so it's good today. It's a good day. Sorry, I'll just leave it there. That's all I got.
All right, everyone. Well, thank you for tuning into the Trader Roundup podcast. We are going to be hosting more live podcasts with you guys. We got Funded Fridays hosted by Kit and Kyle, and we've got AM sessions happening pretty much every London session with Kit. So look, we are coming in, we are firing at all cylinders. We are bringing you amazing guests like Saul, like Sanjeev, and we're going to be discussing everything from trading, performance, strategy, ICT, DR, and we are very excited, especially myself, to actually meet you guys in person. So to this event this Saturday, I'm going to in London, Westminster. So if you are going to turn up, come and say hi. And lastly, thank you everyone who's watching live. Don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe, and I'm going to post now a link to the Trader Roundup survey. So if you guys want to level up your trading, use that QR code and complete the survey so that we can point you in the right direction and give you the skills, the knowledge, and the education you need to level up. All right, everyone. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you soon.
Peace out, everyone. Thanks, Saul. Appreciate it.
Bye-bye. Thank you, Kit.
Yeah.
Thanks.